Okay, y'all, so this is my fabric and it's cut out. It's just one big piece. And now I'm going to put it on my chair so you can get a visual of what I'm trying to do here. I literally just set it on top of the chair. The reason is because it cuts down my sewing. So as you see, what I was trying to say in my blog is that you want to have it resting on top of here, and it comes down on the sides, and this is where it ends. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to iron this bottom piece right here and show myself where I want to create a hem, and then we'll come back and figure out what to do from there. So if you've never created a hem before, this is all I'm doing. First step in this was to fold over just the edge of the fabric, and the next step is that I'm going to flip it over. Notice that I'm not folding over too much, because you want to make sure you give yourself enough allowance on the length of this, and not knowing exactly, because I'm winging it and I'm just literally using my chair as a guide, not knowing exactly how much I have. I'd rather create a small hem than too large of a hem and then end up with this being too short for my chair. So just be very careful when you're doing your hem, and I'll show you the second piece of the hem once it's all pinned and ironed down. Okay, so I've got this pinned down, and you can see that the raw edge is hidden underneath, and now we're ready to sew this piece. Here we go. Okay, so right now I am actually sewing the hem down itself, and you see that I'm sewing at the very edge here. I'm doing that because I don't want that under piece to lift up, so it's completely sealed down, as you can tell. And I'm just going to finish up this piece, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I have hemmed the bottom of this all the way down, and I have laid it back over the chair, as you can see. And what I did was I pinned right here, see that ball? I pinned where the bottom of this hem ends. Do you see the pin right there? This lets me know the absolute highest that I can go on my next hem. Now we're not going to use all of the space because, well, I'm human and I make errors. So I'm going to be very conservative, just like I was with the last one, and make a really small hem. But I use this pin just as a guide to help me to make sure that I'm on track. So I'm going to go back over to the iron and follow the very first step of this video, and I'll meet you back at the sewing machine. Okay, so I've now hemmed the other side of the fabric, and as you'll notice, it's now flipped inside out over the chair again. So what you need to do at this point is you just want to make sure that you can pinch on both sides the fabric together and there's not any issues. What you're going to do now is you are going to you're going to get this ready for a hem, and we're going to take it to the iron, and we're going to do both sides at the same time, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. Okay, so you have pinned down the whole side of the hem, and what I have done is folded this in half. You're going to sew this together. We are going to sew the hems down on both sides and sew the side together all in one swoop. We're killing two birds with one stone, and the reason why is because if you sew this hem down and then you fold it in half and sew again, you got a good chance of not making it look pretty. And so instead of it looking clean like this, there's a good chance you're going to end up seeing a hem there, or at least a thread of a hem. So that's why we're going to do it this way. And make sure you start with your edges right here, these bottom corners. This is where you want to start, so that when you finish, you're finishing at the top. And then we will get to the other side in just a second. Okay, so you can see that I have hemmed close this side, and with the other side that you have pinned together, what I want to show you is that, do you see how much room you have? Just enough. And then you get down here and it gets a little dicey. That's why it's very important that you're conservative when you're hemming, and when you go to shut this and close it right now, make sure you stay in the center. Don't go on the edges, because again, it may not leave you enough room, and you want to catch both hems. So once we finish this part, you're done, and we'll find out if we did it correctly and if it fits over the chair. Okay, so you have both sides shut now and everything is ready to go. You can now trim off any loose threads, and then we're going to turn it inside out and slip it on. Ta-da! You have finished, and everything should fit properly. And you can iron this out if you want, but this is clean, so you don't see any of your hemlines or any thread showing through. And it goes all the way down to the back of the chair. Real quick, what I wanted to show you is the underneath of the chair. I mentioned in the blog post that your chair should be screwed in to the bottom. These are our screw holes, and you're able to just unscrew, and this back part right here just comes right off. And as you can see, you know, we weren't trying to be all neat, we were just trying to get it done. And so this is all stapled. One thing I failed to mention is that you need to label the bottom of each chair. The seat on one another be interchangeable, so you want to make sure that as you take these seats off, that you not only mark your chair, I don't know if you can see that's a 5 right there, and then here's a 5, but you mark the actual chair itself and the bottom of this so that you can keep them together and you know which seat cushions go on which chair. And that is the tutorial for how to sew a slipcover on the back of your chair and refinish the bottom. I hope that this was informing and you were able to follow me. Thanks so much.